MBA and my full-time job, felt, okay, like what am I running after? Today I want to be successful. At the same time, I want to have myself to feel that success. Understand the real-time experience of building a brand. People get overwhelmed that, oh, now I have to go to China and get the package. Oh, you need to order 1 lakh pieces for that.
That is crazy.
Christmas party at Paris Hilton's house. You know, we have to get hyphen on the board. Out of nowhere, I had 0 clients at that time. You just have to get started with whatever you have. It's 35 rupees.
What?
I'm not kidding. Not keeping yourself up with AI, you're definitely lacking very much.
Hi guys, I'm Mishita
And I'm Kanishka.
and welcome to
Drop the Filter. Today with us we have Rajashree, who is an entrepreneur and does a lot more things, I think, that you'll find out during the episode. But hi, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, how are you?
We are amazing. How are you?
I'm good. It has been like a little bit busy. I was meaning to do this podcast since a very long time.
Yeah.
Finally, we are doing it. So super excited.
That's good. How was the traffic while coming here?
Horrible. I'm still getting used to Bangalore's traffic. Being in Hyderabad, when I was staying in Hyderabad, I thought that was very bad. But yeah, Bangalore is on another level.
Bangalore traffic is bad.
Yeah,
So how did you decide to move from Bangalore to, Hyderabad
I mean, I
to
did
Bangalore?
not decide. I had to move because I got married.
Oh my god.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I never thought I'll be staying in Bangalore. I mean, I visited it like a couple of times when I was a kid, when my cousins were staying here. But Bangalore was never in my cards. So initially, I was staying in LA. That is where I have done my graduation and everything. I have done my graduation in beauty marketing and product development from FIDM in Los Angeles. So that is where I got my first job, all my internships. I have worked with like 3-4 very good brands. And when I was studying in Freedom, the professors that we had worked for Fenty Beauty, Rare Beauty. Literally, the product developer of Rare Beauty was our professor who was teaching us packaging and stuff. So it was one of the best experiences that I had, and I got like a full-time job right after graduating, and I was, so chill, enjoying my LA life and with a good full-time job. And I was working as a social media and marketing specialist at a skincare line. It is a high-end skincare line that we were working on, and we used to have like big events happening with Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton. Once we had like a big Christmas party at Paris Hilton's house. So it was all like fancy Hollywood kind of, and then I decided to do MBA when I was there. Then I was like, okay, let's just do MBA, like what's there. So I started doing MBA and my full-time job parallelly.
That's mad.
Living in US where you have to do your all household chores as well. So it took a very big toll on myself, and at the same time the entire visa H1B issues were happening. Then I just felt, okay, like what am I running after?
Correct.
End of the day, I want to be successful. At the same time, I want to have myself to feel that success. So then out of nowhere, I just decided I'm going to move back. Leave everything, move back and start from square zero. I called my parents up. I'm like, okay, I'm coming back. I think I have to deal with it. So I just came back and I started looking at the startup landscape in India. Okay, what can I do? Initially, everybody expected that I would start a beauty brand because that is what I have
studied.
Yeah, that is what I have studied, and that's what I wanted to do. Then there are like 10 beauty brands launching every day. In most of them are failing.
That's true.
That is what I have observed when I was doing my research. And then I thought, okay, let me just start an agency which helps beauty brands. Simultaneously, I would also understand the real-time experience of building a brand, what takes, because the US market is entirely different and the Indian market is entirely different. Indian market is very much price sensitive.
That's
Even if you want to give the best product to the market, there's nobody to buy it.
Right.
You'll get the ingredients from Korea, you'll get the packaging from Italy, but there is no consumer to buy it. And that's the reason why we don't see a lot of high-end, companies scaling fast in India. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, let me just like, slow down a little bit, understand the landscape first, help people with the knowledge that I have. And that is how we got onboarded with Hyphen as well. We worked on their creative projects initially, and we worked with a lot of like other small startup beauty brands. I have been doing that, and then I got married and I had to like move to Bangalore. I moved to Bangalore, and my husband's business is abroad consultancy. So they send people abroad for education, PR, and all of it. So I started looking into that, and then I felt India is moving towards a lot of entrepreneurship.
True.
Right now, Gen Z or like whoever, even people of our mom's age, right now they're thinking about entrepreneurship. I have a lot of aunts who like call me up and be like, oh, like I haven't done anything in my life till now, but now I want to do
Yeah.
something. Like, where do I get started? I got inquiries like this a lot. And I was very, rigid about it. I was like, no, I'm only gonna be in the beauty industry. I'm not gonna like move, or I'm not gonna budge into any other industries. This is my passion. Then, yeah, we started working on Latcha out of nowhere. So I was having matcha since 2018, 2017. I was getting them imported from Japan, and I was like, using the best quality matchas when I was there. Even when I was in US, I couldn't find good quality matchas, even there at that time. When was that? 2021. The matcha culture was just picking up, even in the US. So even then it was the same struggle, couldn't find good matchas. Then I moved back to India. There was literally no matcha places when I moved back. Then when I came to Bangalore, that is where I started finding like, okay, specialty matcha places here. Then I was taking my husband every single day to matcha places, and I was like going everywhere and trying like different matchas. Then I also do my own matchas at home. My husband was like a big coffee person. He was not even ready to like try much. He was like, you know what, I'm very good with my coffee, I don't want to try it. And now he stopped having coffee entirely, like entirely, and he only have like matcha.
Matcha. But why do you think matcha was under cover for so long? Because I think it's existing for the longest
It's
time.
existing for the longest time, but I think matcha also picked up when the entire health conscious and well-being aspect of the culture, like 2020,
Yeah.
where all of us became
Yeah.
very health conscious, and we started seeing a lot of health conscious D2C brands picking up, even in the States and even here. I think that is when even the matcha culture started, because coffee, it's good for you, but at the same time it adds a lot of inflammation to your body. It adds a lot of anxiety and anxiousness to your body. So I think that is when people started looking for healthier caffeine options, because of course you can't give up on caffeine. You want
Yeah.
it in some way, like energy drinks and all of it. Like people started migrating to the healthier options
That is true.
of caffeine. I think that is when it picked up. And yeah, when we were doing all of this, out of nowhere, my husband just said, okay, you make such good matchas at home. Like, why don't you just start a matcha brand in India? Me being a perfectionist, I could have just started a matcha brand, right? Packaged it and sold it. Then we found a farm in Japan where we are sourcing our matcha from. I got it. It was all ready to like go onto the shelves, onto Amazon. Then I said, okay, but what if people don't like it? I want to see whether the product performs before. Then we started thinking about, okay, what if we start like a small place where we start selling our lattes first, see how the reaction is from the consumer, and then go big on it. Because if I want to import matcha powder directly, I have to import like a big, like big bulk, like 1,000 kilos and stuff. What if I do if the consumer doesn't like it after getting? So then I convinced my husband again, like, okay, let's start like a cute cafe. Let's start serving people, because Bangalore people are more aware of the matcha culture, and I think Bangalore consumer is the best consumer to test matcha in this market. So that is how Latcha started, and that's why we even went off with such a small space. If we were thinking like, a big cafe culture kind of a space, we would have gone something which is 1,000 to 2,000 square feet.
Correct.
We were like, okay, let's stick to the smallest place possible. Let's make it as cute as possible so that the consumer coming and spending that much would have like a good experience when they are there. And after we started selling, our matcha powders were like a hit. Like everybody, whoever that doesn't even like matcha started liking it. So I think that is how we have done the market research for Latcha. I know it's like an extra long step, but it gave me the confidence that, okay, this product is viable.
I love how you knew your end product was just the powder.
Yeah.
But it seemed like to the audience that Latcha or cafe was your end product. Nobody I think anticipated that. It seemed like you started the cafe because you wanted to, and the addition was your powder. But actually, the point was that you wanted to sell the powder.
Because let's talk in a business perspective, okay? Let's keep our passions aside. Let's keep everything aside. End of the day, when you're running a business, you have to make profit,
Absolutely.
right? This is where a lot of people go wrong. For example, I'm very passionate about the beauty industry, but I know the hardships of it. So just because I have the passion, even if I start a business now, I don't know whether I'll be profitable or not. So that is the concept with any business, right? Okay, let's think we have started Latcha as a cafe chain, like Cafe Coffee Day or whatever. Let's think that how scalable is it, right? If I have to have it pan-India, how many how many
Outlets,
investors I need,
yeah.
how many crores of investments that I need, how much acquisition cost I have to put into it. So what is the most scalable, strategy for it? Having a product that you can sell pan-India, staying in Bangalore. You have a presence in Bangalore, but you can still sell this product pan-India and you can scale it even internationally if you want to. If you're sticking to the food space, that's not that big of a scalable. That is how we have worked on it. But at the same time, I wanted to create a culture and a community first before bringing the product into the market. So yeah, that is what we have done.
That's really nice. Also, you mentioned about your vendor from Japan.
Yeah.
So how, do you find such vendors, like someone starting a business for the first time? How do you know, is this the right person for you?
See, I'll give you like a simple framework. If anybody wants to start a business, this is the framework. No matter who you are, you have to like work on. First, do market research. Market research matlab, for example, you want to start a jewelry business. Let's think that. Understand your niche. What kind of consumer that you want to sell to. What kind of price point that you're targeting to, sell your product in. Then start finding the product. What everybody does it, you'll find the product, you'll fall in love with the product, then you try to sell it to the customer. But you have to know whether there is a customer to buy that product before you even select it. So first decide on a price point, because India is a very price sensitive market. So decide on the price point, find the best product that is available in that price point. Then you can sell that product to the customer. Now you have asked me, okay, how do you find these vendors? Let's take the jewelry example again. Recently, there was a B2B show that happened in Bangalore itself. I don't know how many people know about it. There is a huge B2B jewelry business, exhibit that happened, where all the vendors from all over India got their products and they are giving you the B2B pricing. So you have to place an order with them. So that is how we have expos. Even for beauty industry, even for clothing, even if it's electronics, no matter what it is, you will have trade shows that happen where you have a lot of B2B vendors coming. Okay, now you don't want to go to trade shows, and still how do I find people? Social media. Right now, you can find everybody and anybody on social media and internet. I think that is the best way. Before, if you want to start a business, you have to sit and make something at your home, and only then you can sell it, and which is very, not good for scalability aspect. Right now, you can just find a vendor, test couple of samples with them, find the best that is workable in the price point that you're trying to sell, and that is how you scale it. But it's very simple. You just have to Google it. You can find anyone.
No, that is true. But I feel like Now, for example, here you mentioned it was Japan. Now, when it's in India, now you have that sort of confidence. Now, someone who's new in the field, new in a business, how do they reach out to? Because there are a lot of clothing brands that source from China, a lot of jewelry brands also source from China, and matcha is sourced normally from Japan. How do you reach out to vendors outside of the country?
Let's talk about Latcha's China, for example, how we reached out to a supplier in China to get our packaging. But whenever you're working with an international, country or another country which is not in India, there are a lot of logistical things that also like come in between.
Correct.
The simple answer is, again, it's like internet. You have to reach out to them through internet, or if you have any consultant who can be a bridge between you and the vendor in another country, that is the best way to go about it. Even in skincare, most of the companies do get their formulation done in Japan or in Korea and
Correct.
stuff, right? So you don't need to travel there and do all of it. See, it's good if you can travel there, even if you don't want to travel there, because it's gonna take up like 5-6 lakhs of your budget, which you have kept aside for your business. So even if you if you don't want to go there, you can just get a consultant in between. So they are the one who's fluent. For example, Japanese. They would be fluent in Japanese. They would go negotiate with this vendor, will send you the samples, will be with you until the end point. This is where a lot of people get overwhelmed that, oh, now I have to go to China and get the packaging.
exactly.
Like now I have to go and do all of it. No, you do have business consultants who be a bridge between the vendor and you, so that you won't have that rough patch. Of course, you're the one who's going to finalize the product after you receive the, samples and stuff. But that person is just going to make your process entirely
Easier. Like you can act like a middle man between two of you.
I'll tell you a case study that happened with Latcha itself. When we started, we wanted a very specific packaging for Latcha. I don't know whether you have seen this brand. It's called La La Land. It's in US. It's like a high-end cafe in US. They have like a very cutesy cup packaging. So that is what we wanted to recreate, but in Latcha colors. So we wanted to go with custom colors. And India, though, it's not possible. There are no vendors who do custom colors, custom packaging for you in India. We don't have that big of a mechanism here. The machinery is very limited here. So that's why you see a lot of cafes have the same packaging. The logo might change.
colors also.
Yeah, the logo might change, but the outer packaging and stuff, after I tell you, now you'll start observing it.
Yeah.
The packaging is very similar, just the logos would be changing, because here the vendors don't even have the capacity to give you custom packagings. So we were very clear since the start that, oh, we want something that's going to differentiate us in the market, because we have other things in the pipeline as well for Latcha. So we have contacted a vendor through Alibaba.
Oh, the web.
Yeah. Through Alibaba, we thought, like, we spoke about everything, packaging, what we needed, demo queues. The only downside of importing anything from other countries is the MOQs. The minimum order quantity would be extremely high.
How much are we talking?
20,000 cups, 50,000 cups.
Oh
If
my
I have to
God.
go for a pink lid, initially I was very stuck on, oh, I want pink lid, I want like a custom pink lid with Latcha logo on it. Ideation mein, this all looks very cute. It will be like, oh, like, we all have a. Then when we asked him, he's like, oh, you need to order 1 lakh pieces for that.
That is crazy.
Bro, I don't even have space to keep 1 lakh pieces. So that is how it is. That's the biggest issue you have with custom packaging or anything of that sort. Sometimes we feel like, oh, they should have done more. But sometimes brands don't even have the threshold to do more, even if they want to do more. The same thing applies to foundation shades as well, right? We keep on complaining that, oh, brands are not coming out with inclusivity and stuff. But the problem here lies with the manufacturer. They are not ready to do it. For example, you have 20 shades of foundation. You need to order 5,000 pieces of each shade. How much is it gonna be? So that is where the issue comes. Okay, coming back to the point, we found a vendor, we finalized the packaging, we finalized everything was ready, and he said he'll be shipping the product to us in 1 month. The deadline was coming. We thought of starting Latcha in December itself. December 15th was what we thought of like launching. he called us like 10 days before he said he's gonna ship us, and he's like, "Ma'am, our printers are not working, so we couldn't do it." He just sent us an email in Mandarin saying that our print, I can't even read it. I had to like put it through Google Translate and see, and he's like, "We can't do it because our printers are, like malfunctioned or something like that." Then we had to find a vendor in India all of a sudden and get our cups done in 5 days. So whatever the Latcha cups that you're seeing, that was not final.
Oh, it's a
It
different.
was a different cup that we wanted to have at Latcha, but because of that, we had to find a vendor here in Bangalore, and we had to get it done in the last minute.
But are you satisfied with your Latcha cup? Do you have plans of changing it?
Yeah. Yeah, we have plans of changing. We're already like speaking with another factory right now in China. But all of this conversation is taken care by a middle person. Because I don't know Mandarin, I don't know how to do it, I don't know how customs work, I don't know how shipping works. So this person, this consultant, takes care of all of this. Yeah.
I also, so are you telling me now was this a loss for you monetarily?
I wouldn't say it's a loss for me monetarily, but on a vision wise, definitely it was a loss. We couldn't differentiate ourselves since day one. That is
Right.
a big lesson for me, that you have to get your packaging done at least 6 months before of getting started with anything. I pushed it until the last minute because I was too picky about the design and everything, and I wanted to find somebody who's doing that pink lid. So because of that pink lid, I have pushed it until the end. At the end, he just said he can't do it. So we had to like settle for another thing. Even when we are going for the another thing in India as well, the minimum MOQ is 5,000 pieces. It's not like, okay, I'll get 1,000 pieces, I'll go for the other manufacturer and I'll get something else. You have to commit yourself to at least 5,000 to 10,000 pieces.
That is true.
That is how it works.
Yeah. I think it also comes from because that's how the factories also work.
Yeah, because they don't make any profit out of it. No, maximum to maximum, they'll make a profit of 1-2 rupees on it.
Yeah.
Right? If you order like 1,000 pieces, how much are they making? 1,000 rupees. So it doesn't even make sense for
Yeah,
them.
like half will go to the traveling, packaging, and also to you.
Yeah.
So do you think this market in our country, like the manufacturing is like, do you think it will be good in the
Yeah, I
future?
think it's definitely gonna pick up. We are also already seeing that in tech industries. Right now, Apple has its manufacturing unit in India, and also like Tesla is putting up a manufacturing unit in India, because the kind of workforce that we have here is not where anywhere else. And I feel this is the best time to start startups. If you're somebody who's even interested in business, if you want to have your own thing, I think this is the best time in India, because the kind of skill workforce that we have here, there's none.
Nowhere.
Like it's nowhere. Like every other country, they're having depleting populations, and their population is going towards the older people.
Yeah, I think Japan.
Japan,
Yeah.
you are seeing the same problem in Japan. There's no workforce,
Yeah.
young workforce. The same thing is happening in China as well right now. All the workforce is aging, and there are no new generation people who can capacitate the kind of manufacturing and everything they're having there in China. So it's definitely moving forward to India now.
That's nice. You also mentioned you do have a business consultancy.
Yeah.
I want to ask, you mentioned how you did, for hyphen. How do you pitch to these brands starting from a level of, zero? You just
fresher maybe.
started.
See, I believe that whatever you aim towards will come to your life if it's the right thing for you. Hyphen story was very funny, I would say. When we started, me and my team, we had like 5-6 people of team when I started in Hyderabad. So when we started, I was like, we have to get hyphen on the board. Out of nowhere, I had 0 clients at that time. I just moved to India. I had no idea like where people can find me and stuff. And I was not even that big on social media. So I was like, we should get hyphen. Somehow we should get hyphen. I don't know how. Then what we started doing is we started doing creative projects for hyphen, even though they didn't hire us. We just did a creative project for them using their new launch. So they saw it. you know what? We think people don't observe you on social media. No matter what posts you keep, people do observe you.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, we are too small for people to observe, but people do observe you. Yeah, some intern did see our work on Instagram because they were looking for a photography and a creative direction team to do their projects. So she saw it and she got reached out to us, and she was like, oh, we have like a lot of new launches coming up every single month and we don't have the capacity to do it in-house in our office. Would you be able to do that? Honestly, I didn't believe myself. I was like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
We just manifested
obviously.
for it. So that is how we got onboarded, and that is how we got onboarded with a lot of other clients as well. We just kept ourselves out there. If you're not out there, if you're not showcasing yourself on social media or any other platform where people can find you, I think,
It's going to be difficult.
yeah, it's going to be very difficult, and you have to burn a lot of money into marketing and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, so now you said that, you were talking about how you should keep your products or your packaging 6 months in advance. I mean, that's a learning that you had. Now, if there was a person who wants to start another brand, what do you think the first few steps should be? Like at what and how much of hibernation period should it get before it comes out?
See, it depends on what kind of a vision you have for your brand, right? If you just want to get started, I would say get started with whatever that's available. It's always a learning curve. You wouldn't be perfect on day one. I used to be a big time perfectionist. If I want something that way. But after having a lot of experience in my life, what I understood is you are never gonna be perfect. You just have to get started with whatever you have. Even right now, I'm working on a personal care brand. It's a body care brand that we are starting with. We are planning to launch with body washes initially. I was perfecting that formulation since last 7-8 months. I'm still in the formulation phase. I still didn't finalize the packaging. I still didn't finalize the scents for the formulation. I'm still stuck at the formulation point because we wanted to keep it affordable. But I wanted to give the best formulation in that affordable price point. So that is where we are getting a lot of, heat from. So if you're this picky and this particular, it's gonna take you a lot of time. If you just wanna like go have fun, see how it's gonna go, just find a manufacturer, go to a private labeler or white labeling manufacturer. So there are different types of manufacturing as well. So there is white labeling, private labeling. So white labeling is nothing but this manufacturer or the factory would already have the formulations for you.
Okay.
Understood? You just have to make minor tweaks like fragrance or any key ingredient and stuff. They'll just repackage in the packaging that they have. They'll just put your sticker, same formulation with little bit of tweaking, and the label would be changed and your product is out. You can just do it in like a month, and it doesn't even take you that much of funds.
But I have a question for that, for the white one. Do you think a lot of brands do this?
They do it, most of them.
We see a lot of brands with like a similar consistency.
Yeah.
The scent.
Most of them do it. Most of the brands.
But isn't that cheaper?
It is cheaper, that's why they do it.
And then they sell it for a little higher price.
Yeah, I mean, so have you ever seen this 3D printed lipsticks? We have been seeing lipsticks which have like a lot of texture and
Yeah,
3D
yeah,
printed
yeah.
all over it. It looks very fancy, right? And people do sell it around 1500. I think Lakme or somebody is
Yeah.
selling it around like 1500. The making price of it is 35 rupees.
What?
I'm not kidding. The making price of it is 35 rupees.
That is insane.
35.
It is 35 rupees. Along with the component, along with the formulation, along with the carving, it's 35 rupees to make it.
That's crazy.
And they sell it for 1500. And I'll tell you where the pricing would go. The formulation, the lipstick packaging is good. Let's think even if they go for a luxury packaging, the end product would be somewhere around like 100 rupees.
Yeah.
Then comes your outer packaging, right? That's gonna add up like 50 rupees more. Then comes your shipping costs. That's gonna add up like 150 rupees. Then comes your retailer commission. That's gonna be like 20-30% on whatever that the sale price would be. Then your marketing would be your highest.
Yeah, you need to market it on social media.
Social
your
media,
own.
paid ads. If you're selling a product which is 1500, the customer acquisition cost is 1000 rupees in the first go. So the brand is barely making any profit, even if the making cost is 50 rupees to them. So that is why a lot of D2C brands are failing right now. So what they think is, oh, the making cost is 30 rupees only, let's just sell it for 300 rupees. Even if they think like that, the 300 rupees would go away just by the time you go to ship.
There is
Then
no profit
how
whatsoever.
are they making profit, and what are your plans on making profit with your brand?
Yeah, that is why you don't see a lot of, niche brands going for the lower price point ka products. For example, when you go to a supermarket, you only see Fiamma, you see Dove, all this big, FMGC brands. You don't see any niche brands. Right now, minimalist, Foxtail and brands like this are getting there because they have huge investments that are coming from there. So when you go that big level, everything comes down. Your formulation cost will go down because you will be buying the raw materials in bulk and you'll be making in-house manufacturing. You don't go for another manufacturer outside who have a commission on it. And then you have like an entire distribution system under you working. You can get into any store that you want. So that is why they're able to sell it for that cheap. Not because they're making it for like less. They're gonna make like 5-10 rupees on it, but imagine 5-10 rupees for such a huge market
Yeah,
like
like if you
India.
sell even hundreds of them, you're
Yeah,
making.
in a day you're gonna sell like 1 million of them. So even if your profit margin is 5-10 rupees, you're making like what, 50 lakhs a day. So that is how the bigger FMGCs work, and that is where a lot of D2C smaller brands are like burning their hands because they don't understand how much money would go into distribution in India. Distribution is the biggest challenge in India.
Like now, this new skincares that are coming up, new skincare brands in India specifically, their price ranges are not that high. So, are you telling in the initial couple years they are definitely facing loss?
They are burning. They are burning money initially. So right now, most of the brands are scaling, not for profitability, for acquisition. So they want to be acquired.
Yeah.
That is where recently I have seen a sunscreen brand. It's a men's sunscreen brand. It's been just like 2-3 years since she started. She's from Hyderabad itself. She started, she scaled the brand. Of course, their marketing is very problematic. I'm not going to talk about that. But in 2 years, she sold her company to Mamaearth for 195 crores.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you look at her marketing, it's very problematic. It's all about colorism and stuff. But still, people are buying the product. She's making 25% profit on it. Her prices are expensive. Her sunscreen is around like 850 or something like that. But she was able to sell the company for 195 crores in a span of 2 years after starting her
That's
company.
really quick.
Yeah, but initially she might have like burnt money to do the marketing. So right now, most of the people are not building their businesses for profitability on day one.
You just want other big brands to.
You just want people to acquire. Similar like Minimalist, Minimalist?
Yeah,
The
of
brand
course.
Minimalist. I mean, they have been profitable since day one because they do their own in-house manufacturing. They got acquired by HUL for 300 crores. And each of the founders have made 800 CR in a span of 5 years.
That's a lot of money. I have one more question to this. So, the brand Road, right? They also gave it to Elf for like I think $1 billion. So, do you think Road was burning?
I think Road was profitable because they don't need to burn because Hailey Bieber was the face of it. So of course, half of the marketing was like done there. And again, the product is a very good product market fit for Gen Zs. So I think it was a profitable company, and that's why Elf have given a valuation of $1 billion.
She's making a lot of money. Imagine like your company getting sold to her for 1 billion. Now she's gonna get profit of that and from the previous, like when she was
Yeah.
selling. That's
I
mad.
think adding to that, I feel like a lot of known celebrities are now getting in the makeup line or the beauty line, or just wanting to, spread their wings across entrepreneurship as well. How do you think? Because a lot of these brands, now for example, Deepika Padukone also started 82E, but we can slowly see that brand die. Is that why do you
Compared
think
to
that's
like
happening?
even Katrina Kaif's K Beauty.
Yeah,
Like
that
it's
I mean, what because there were a lot of research and a lot of influencers reviewing 82E where they did not probably like the formulation or it didn't work out in a lot of people's favor. Why do you think it's dying down? And is it okay to just die down a business without giving a notice like that?
Um,
I kind of love that point.
I mean, it's just going away, right?
See, most of the times when we look at a influencer brand or a celebrity brand, it's not them running the brand. They're just the face of it. They're gonna have like 40 or 30% of share in it. They're not the entire shareholders. For example, in Hyphen is Kriti Sanan's brand, right? That's what we all know. But Kriti only has about like 40 to 45% in the company. The rest is with M Caffeine. So M Caffeine is the mother brand.
I did hear. No, I heard that they're sister brands or something.
Yeah, they're like sister brands. M Caffeine
Yeah.
is the parent brand and Hyphen is the sister brand, and 60% is with M Caffeine. Operations, distribution, product development, everything is taken care by them. And Kriti is the creative officer there. Let it be formulations, marketing. She is gonna be the, vision of it. Execution part is taken care of M Caffeine. So coming to your point, like 82 East, I think it was a very bad product market fit for India. A, it was very expensive. B, the formulations were not so
So-
great.
I think not fit for the Indian.
Yeah, I
It was too oily, if I'm not.
I think, first of all, the price point was the biggest miss there. Let's take K by Katrina. Even that was backed by Nykaa. Nykaa has the most amount of data no other brand or no other e-commerce platform would have. Nykaa has all the data, all the trends. They know what people are buying, they don't know what people are not buying. They literally have the data and they put all of that into their product development pipeline, and that is why K-Beauty is successful. Of course, you have data, you have numbers, you know what people are buying, not people are not buying. Then you'll create a product that people buy. Right? You won't do guesswork. You literally have proof in front of
There
your
is no
eyes.
need of trial and error.
There's no need of trial and error because you already know what's working. And then you have distribution channels across India. You can literally have your brand like this across India. If you are a D2C brand starting right now in a small, small scale, imagine you getting into like pan India on day one. It's impossible. That's the same thing with Fenty by Rihanna as well, right? She had her foundations, the 30 shades of foundation, in every shelf in the world, wherever there is Sephora on day one.
Yeah.
Because that is the kind of impact Sephora has on the market. If somebody wants to start a business in a small scale, I would say start with like 5 to 10 lakhs initially. Understand the product market fit. Without data, you cannot assume what works and what doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what we have done with Latcha also. Without investing like lakhs and lakhs of rupees on the matcha powder initially, we wanted to see whether even people would like it or not. Especially people who are already familiar with matcha, like a crowd like Bangalore. Similarly, just get a product onto the shelves of the market, have your website, it's not gonna cost you a lot. Be on Amazon, it's not gonna cost you a lot. Just get feedback from real customers who bought it with your own money. If it's gonna scale, if it's gonna do well in the market, just double down on it. Go for custom packaging, go for custom formulations. You can do all of it once you know what you have is working in the market. If you just put and dump all your energy, your efforts, your money into one thing, and what if it doesn't work out? So that is why I really believe in numbers and logics than feelings. Sometimes we feel like, we'll try finding a lipstick and we couldn't find any lipsticks, then we think, oh, I should start a lipstick brand. I couldn't find lipsticks.
Me?
No, like we were just talking, like we don't have any lipsticks, and we're like,
Yeah.
we are not getting our shade. Like both of us are not able to find our perfect brown shade for
Yeah.
like our skin.
See, that's what we feel, right? Sitting in our room, in the circle that we are like in. But there are thousands of brands that are coming up with brown, nude shades of lipsticks every single day. It's just our perspective that there is no good product out there. But Nykaa would know if there are enough products out there or not. So they won't come with a product that has a lot of competition in the market.
But also, you mentioned pan India. So how do people can put their brand on Nykaa or like Amazon? How can they do
Amazon,
that?
it's very simple. You just have to have GST. if you have the GST certification, if you have all the proper paperwork for your product, where it's getting manufactured, who's marketing it, who's distributing it, if you have good label information, you can onboard your brand on Amazon. Amazon is not that restrictive and it's not that expensive as well. Even the commission percentages are not that expensive. If you want to get onto Nykaa, now because Nykaa already has a lot of brands on it, they are being a little bit restrictive on who they're onboarding. But even Nykaa is not that tough, especially if you have good social media presence, it's not that tough. Yeah.
But it's so, crazy to think that Nykaa, they started with getting other makeup brands under them, and now they have started their own makeup line. Like they do have products of their own.
Do you think that works, that makeup brand?
Yes.
It does.
They make more money from their makeup products than Nykaa platform.
What?
That's mad.
Yeah. Of course, right? They have their own manufacturing units. They know what is selling. They literally have the entire India's beauty consumer data in their hands. Imagine how much you can do with it. And you'll make more profit out of product than from a
Than
commission from a brand, right? Of course, your
That is true.
profit margins would be higher with a product. So they're doing more revenue from their product than from the stores and the Nykaa platform they have. The platform is just to get data. If you
Clearly.
think about it, it's just to get data for them. It's just to be
Data
on
about
top.
like which brand is being sold more, who is buying how many things. Like they would have. That's kind of like scary also. Like they would know what I buy.
Even Amazon knows. Even Amazon has their own products now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon Basics. Right?
Amazon Basics.
I
Amazon
didn't
has
know
their
this.
own product now.
But it's been a while since that's been the running.
Amazon has been there since a very long time. See, Nykaa, because it's the first e-commerce platform, we are feeling like that. Nykaa clearly took inspiration from brands like Sephora and Ulta. They also do the
Ulta,
same
yeah.
thing, right? Sephora has other brands and they also have their own product line. Ulta has other brands and they have their own product line. So these platforms just work as a data analysis companies. It's all about data. Even HUL or Procter and Gamble, all these people live on data. And right now with AI and everything, if you are not good with data or if you're not keeping yourself up with AI, you're definitely lacking very much.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm getting scared with my data being with Nykaa. I don't know why. I'm just scared. Also, with your Latcha brand, don't you think there's so many, like everyone in Bangalore, like I'm gonna talk about Starbucks, Third Wave, everyone has Latcha now in
I
their.
think more than Starbucks and Third Wave, I think there are a lot more niched matcha
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
No, but what I meant was a lot of big brands are starting. So how do you differentiate yourself with those big brands? When it comes to your matcha.
That's why we named it Latcha.
Yes.
I love
So
it.
that people will get confused.
I did.
So, see, I think every business has its own set of consumers. I'm not somebody who goes to Starbucks and have matcha. Okay? Or I'm not somebody who would trust a brand like Third Wave Coffee to make me a strawberry iced matcha latte.
I agree.
I wouldn't do that because I'll tell you why. They can't put in, it's mathematically impossible for them to give the quality that a niche matcha cafe would give because they have a lot of staff. They have complexes in big cities in the most expensive neighborhoods. So their rents would be skyrocketing. They have a big marketing team. They have a lot of employees with good salaries and stuff. So logistically, it's not possible for them to source a niche farm ka matcha powder and have like a specialty matcha
Pan
in their
India.
stores pan India because they're not going to make a profit.
Hmm.
All these matcha, niche matcha places also, they work on very slim profit margins. Recently, we got a comment on one of our posts. I think it's a Zomato video or something like that. We got a comment.
I think you ordered drinks, right?
Yeah,
Through like
yeah,
a chain. Yeah, I saw
yeah.
that, I saw
We
that.
got a comment on that video saying that, why are you charging more for oat milk You should be giving the same price for all the drinks. Clearly, one point a lot of people are missing is most of the cafes that are out there, they're charging the same price no
They
matter.
don't mention
They
it.
don't mention it. They're
Yes.
charging the same price no matter what you're getting. So me as a consumer who doesn't know a lot of things about like the milk options and all of it, I'll just go and I'll order, okay, one iced matcha latte. I don't know whether he's giving regular milk
Regular
or
or
oat
oat
milk
milk.
or almond milk. We wanted the consumer to get benefit out of it, choosing what you want. But people are thinking that, oh, why are you charging extra for oat milk? We are not charging extra. We are charging less for regular milk.
Yeah, actually, you do on Zomato.
I think
you
people
do.
don't see the
Yeah.
second side of
No, but
it.
also on Zomato, you do have an option for
Yes.
regular milk
Yeah,
as
we
well.
wanted to
Yeah.
give, as much customization as possible for the customer. And coming to the point, so he was like, oh, I also use the same oat milk brand that you're using. Why are you like charging a lot for us? Then I had to like explain that consumer on the comment saying that, sir, it's just not about the oat milk. The price reflects the rent, the maintenance, the staff, the marketing costs, product wastage,
Yeah.
customer service, and also the kind of like stock that we are keeping in store. All of this combined reflects into the price. It's not just buying a buying milk and making it at home. So Starbucks and people are not even a competitor for niche specialty places like us. They can't give the quality that niche places give. They won't make the profits out of it if they're trying to do that. And that is a big differentiator. Again, coming to your point, I was also thinking about the same thing, right? Everybody is sourcing from Japan.
Yeah.
Everybody is saying it's first harvest. Everybody is saying, oh, we have this cultivar, we have another cultivar. End of the day, how are you going to differentiate yourself? That is what I was also thinking when I was building Latcha. Then we decided, first, let's not go with green color. Every other matcha place is positioning them as green, right? We took red and pink. Have you ever thought about it? Like why we took red and pink?
But it's
No. But I think it just seemed more feminine to me.
yeah, like
There is a reason why we took red and pink. It is still Japanese inspired. How? Think about it.
the trees.
Sakura. Yeah, the cherry blossoms.
Just cherry blossom.
Yeah, we took the pink color from cherry blossoms and the red color from the Japanese flag. That is where we took the colors inspiration from. It's still Japanese inspired, but we didn't wanted it to be too loud. We wanted the space to be something that's cozy, cute, like a flagship store. Because as I told you, our end goal was to sell the matcha powder, not the cafe. So that is how it all began. And that is one differentiator that we have. Branding, I feel, is going to really differentiate you. The second thing is the kind of culture and the community that you build is definitely going to differentiate you. End of the day, if you see vitamin C serums, every brand has vitamin C serum, but you're going to buy it from one specific brand because you're the target market for that brand, right? So that is how you're going to differentiate yourself. I feel nowadays it's social media and community. If you don't have social media and community, there is no differentiation.
That is true.
Yeah. Are you making more profit with like the cafe or with the powder?
I would say with the powders. With the powders, of course, you would make more profits because see, if you just sell the product, you're done with it.
Yeah, I think with the cafe, you have people
Rent.
working on the cafe, the rent.
You have people working with the cafe, you have a lot of wastage.
How do you deal with that?
Right now, we don't have a lot of wastage because we have good footfall coming in and we don't have a lot of product also, right? It's just matchas and ice cream. That's all. We only have wastage with the soft serves, that too very little. But most of the cafes do have a lot of wastage. Yeah.
That is, I think also because right now, I think before marketing is supposed to be very important,
Yeah.
but I think the pre-launch is something that actually sets the tone of what the next few months is going to look like for the, especially F&B places. Only because the hype says it all. Now there can be like, I feel like, of course, there are big firms like, big cafe places like Starbucks and all of that. They have their loyal customers.
Yes.
But I don't think there are people who very newly step into Starbucks, you know?
Yeah.
Every time you go to another city, you look at niche cafes. I'm not going to go to Delhi and look for a Starbucks, right? So I think the footfall is set by how you either firstly pre-launch it. I think the hype sets the tone, and I eventually, yes, social media, because I think right now nobody's using Google to search for cafes in the country or a city I'm traveling to. I'm either asking my friends who are going to talk about new and fun places that have set the tone, and the only way for them to tell me about it is not by words, it's by sending their Instagram profile to me.
True, true,
So
true.
when I look at the profile, I'll understand what's going on. Then I'm like, oh my god, I want to go here.
Yeah.
So I think social media pre-launch and social media, not just presence, but you know, the kind of presence they put out, the kind of vibe they put out. There can be a cafe, two cafes doing the same exact thing, but one can
Yeah.
be really dull and boring, like that's putting you down. And on the other way, there's like some fun, colorful, exciting things going on.
Yeah.
If not for the taste, you just want to go there to see what is it about.
Yeah, that is true, because right now a lot of people are choosing places by the way the place makes them feel
Exactly.
after going there. I mean, they do care about the product as well, like how is your coffee or how is your dessert or whatever. But I feel it's more about the ambience and how the place makes you feel when you go there. Latcha is actually inspired by Glossier. Do you know the brand Glossier? Glossier has flagship stores across like US. There is this one flagship store in LA, in an area called Melrose. It's the dreamiest beauty store you'll ever go to. That is where we got the inspiration from. Initially, when we thought of going for pink, it was actually my husband's idea to go with pink. I was a little hesitant. Pink is my favorite color. But when we were thinking of pink, I was like, what if guys won't come?
That was my next question. Was that your fear?
Guys feel it's too girly, or what if it feels too childish, what if it feels too kiddish. Then my husband was like, you know what, it's such a small space, it needs to have some sort of an attractive element to it. If you just go for beige, how are you going to differentiate yourself?
That's true.
You have to, stand out, even if it's in a controversial way, right? Even negative marketing is good marketing at sometimes. So we were like, okay, it's such a small space, let's just see, because we wanted it to be more of an experience overall, and not just, okay, come grab a matcha and like leave. So you can definitely differentiate yourself by your social media presence, your branding, and the kind of vibe and the feel the customer is getting after walking out of your store, of your brand or whatever. So yeah.
When you were deciding the kind of flavors that were supposed to be put on Latcha, I'm sure, did you do like pop-ups before that? Because you do have flavors that people either would have never heard of.
I told you I was making matcha since 2019. So all those were my flavors.
I love that.
Cookie butter, peach cobbler is something which I thought people would absolutely hate it, because that's a very unique flavor that you wouldn't like find anywhere. Even banana pudding. So basically I love Magnolia's banana pudding. I had Magnolia first time when I was in New York. So when I had it there, I was like, oh, why not just try it in, like matcha and see. So that is how I had a lot of like flavor combinations since a very long time. So when we started Latcha, of course we went with flavors that are like, short. Okay, vanilla, strawberry, blueberry, all these like people want to have. And then what would be the differentiator for us? Then we thought of the Cloud series with all these flavors, and all the recipes are made by me, and I hate cooking, by the way. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I made it. Even I was surprised. I hate cooking, but I still did it. And then we were still thinking, we are such a small space. How do we differentiate ourselves? Okay, matcha flavors are good. Still, what? Then I remembered that I had a matcha with a soft serve in one of my travel trips. Then I'm like, oh, let's do soft serves. No, even if somebody doesn't want to have matcha, they'll at least have soft serves. That's how we got started with soft serves. Then the strawberry one, even for that, I did the formulation, the flavor and everything. Our strawberry soft serve is like fan favorite. Sometimes we don't have it because when we have matcha, sometimes we have vanilla, and people like just keep on asking for, oh, you don't have strawberry soft serve. I traveled all the way to have that. Then once the soft serves are figured out, we did the float collection with the matcha and the soft serve on top for anybody who doesn't like matcha. It's not for the authentic matcha drinkers. If you don't like matcha, drink this because it's very subtle. It's like a milkshake end of the day. And we wanted matcha not to be like an authentic Japanese cafe. That's not what we were going for. We were going for an initial space where you'll introduce yourself to matcha. So that is why if you compare Latcha with any other specialty matcha places in Bangalore or anywhere else, I would say we would lean a little bit on the sweeter side. Most of the matcha places are very, very less on the sweet. We lean a little bit towards the sweeter side. Also, our flavor profiles are a little bit leaning towards the desserty side because we want Latcha to be the initial phase of you getting into authentic matcha.
Yeah, I think it's because matcha is an acquired taste. So you start with this and then you're also selling the powders. So that's like the best thing. Like you have made like a stock for your company.
Right now, our philosophy is come, have a cup. If you like it, take it to your home, make it at your own comfort. You don't need to come in there because we have such a small space. We don't even have seating for you to come, have your laptop and like stay there. So why not make a cup of good matcha with your own taste palette at your home? And if you want to taste the powder before you invest into it, because matcha is expensive. Before you invest into it, and no other matcha brands has this thing where you can go try the matcha and then buy the matcha powder, right? You just have to blindly buy it, make it at home and not like it. That is how it works. And most of the matcha powders doesn't even have return policies. So that is what, and now we are planning to start another one in Hyderabad and also one other in Ahmedabad as well. So whoever that wants to try Latcha first before committing, they can come, try a cup and they can buy the matcha powder.
I think I love the concept of that because, like you said, India as a country is very price sensitive. So the idea of having to try a product before buying it, especially a product that has no, return policies, I think that's the best way to take it because matcha, firstly, it's been difficult to get to India.
Yeah.
People, if there's a friend traveling, they'd rather ask them than to trust an Indian brand with it. And I think I personally have very few. I don't really make much. I'm really bad at it because I did try it and it was one of the worst things I ever tried. And I am good at cooking, I'll tell you that. So that was really bad. But my friend really makes good matcha and she suggested a couple, but none of them were Indian brands.
Yeah.
Because she never trusted Indian brands. She always had, this is a little less greener, so it might not taste good. It is a little less, it is bitter, so it might not taste good.
Yeah.
And I think the only brand that I heard of initially when matcha came up in India as a powder, as a powder was I think Glow Glossary. Yeah, and Bree started now. Who was it by?
Sanya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Malhotra.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
these are the
yeah.
two brands that I've heard of until now, Latcha. So do you think these are competitions or how are we trying to separate from them?
Glow Glossary doesn't have an experience store, right? Even Brie Matcha doesn't have an experience store. So there is a lot of friction between the brand and the consumer before they make the decision like, oh, I want to buy it, right? For example, you have proof that people are liking it, having and going it on our social media. You would be seeing a lot of videos. Even if you're physically not able to come and have Latcha in Bangalore, you would be like, I have been seeing a lot of people like trying and really liking it. Let me just try it. Because the quality matcha that we are giving right now at Latcha is the highest quality that you physically get in the matcha space. And the blend that we have is very on the balanced phase. It's not too umami, it's not too vegetal, it's not bitter, it's not savory. It's all in between. kind of. So it's also good for somebody who's the first time matcha drinkers. When coming to Glow Glossary and Brie Matcha, they have their own set of consumers and their price point is different and our price point is different, and the quality, the cultivar blend we are giving is different and they are giving is different. I would say Latcha right now is on a lesser expensive side for the kind of quality that we are giving. The quality that we are giving, people are selling it around like 3,000, 3,500,
Wow.
2,800, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because we don't have customer acquisition cost, right? We don't have CAC. We have people coming into the store and picking it up. So that is why we were able to sell it at that price. But if we are keeping it on Amazon and stuff, of course, the price would be hiked because, again, as I told you, CAC would be added, shipping costs would be added, and all of it. So I think if anybody who likes a balanced matcha, which is of the very good quality, high quality, with a lot of testimonials, people loving it, Google reviews, and like an experiential store where you can come and have it with a cute packaging. Of course, you want like a cute packaged matcha to be on your vanity. I think that is somewhere like Latcha fits. We are not positioning ourselves as, okay, we are only matcha focused brand. We are more of a lifestyle brand, I would say.
What's your favorite matcha from your brand?
From my brand, the flavor, it's kind of controversial, but I like the blueberry one.
Knew it because I saw your video and you mentioned how your
Yeah,
favorite
I
is.
don't know why people, even my baristas, when I say, guys, why are you not suggesting the blueberry? They're like, ma'am, we don't like it. I'm like,
I honestly, I'm not a blueberry. I love blueberry, but I think matcha wise, I'm not
I
very.
don't know. I like the
blueberry prawn.
blueberry one.
I'm
Yeah.
strawberry every
I
day.
think
I like cookie butter.
I love.
I think I had it for the first time when we went and it was yum.
Yeah, I've been getting it for a while now.
It's
so
very good.
cookie butter is. It's also like for the beginners. Matcha taste is a very aftertaste, so it's giving you that
Our
milkshake.
cloud collection is designed for first time matcha drinkers. Our clouds and our floats for first time matcha drinkers. Cloud, I would say, is still like an intermediate matcha drinkers. Floats with the soft serve, it's for first time matcha drinkers who doesn't even know the concept of matcha. Our lattes are for like regular.
Are you gonna start showcasing matcha? Of course, it is very health driven.
Yeah.
That, but is that a curve that you as a brand is going to take as well? To
I
make
wouldn't-
people quit
no.
coffee and take matcha.
I don't think so. As I told you, I want Latcha to be a fun brand, a lifestyle brand. I don't want to force or imply or fear monger anybody saying that, oh, whatever you're doing right now is crap. We don't want to do that. We just want people to we want people to feel comfortable to try new things.
Yeah.
And I think there are people who will drink their coffee and also have a matcha in the evening.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of people, a lot of like, I think this culture, I don't know if it's in India. I see a lot of like influencers from the American community. They have like a coffee in the morning, but they'll go for a walk and get a matcha. And they have like no strawberry, like a clear matcha. So I think it's a
Yeah, probably.
We don't want to fearmonger and tell people what they're doing is wrong, right? End of the day, you have to decide what's good for you and what's not good for you. And of course, you know that matcha is better than coffee, but we don't want to be that healthy brand trying too hard to sell our products. We're like, okay, we're having the best quality product. If you want to get it, like, get it. We're also, this is like an insider thing. I don't know whether we are going to put it on the podcast or not. We're also working on clean label syrups for Latcha, like good ingredient syrups, coffee and matcha syrups that you can make at home. And also, of course, if they are out there, we'll be using in our cafes as well. But we're also working on that because I see a lot of, importance that's being given to what's being put into your matchas or into your coffees. Oh, is it a homemade syrup, or do you make it in house? We get a lot of like people asking that, oh, do you guys make it in house? So we wanted to also develop a syrup line. So that is what I'm telling. We are not restrictive with Latcha, and that's why we didn't name it anything that's related to matcha or Japanese or anything. Even the color palette, we didn't go for green because I knew we are gonna do more than matcha for it.
that's nice.
How do you decide that beforehand? Because recently we were watching a podcast itself where there was a brand create a brand, and she's creating her makeup line. And in that, she talks about how she has 25 years planned ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know about 25
I
years.
was feeling like
Amused.
horrible because I'm just like, how? How is someone planning 25 years in advance?
I plan 1 year in advance.
Okay.
I plan my personal life 1 year in advance, and I plan my brands 1 year in advance. I mean, I'm not very restrictive. If something doesn't happen, I'll be like, oh, whatever best is happening to us. But I don't know about 25 year of planning. I feel you should have a vision. For example, okay, by 2030, where I'm going to turn 30 years old, I need to have this much income coming into my account. That is very important. You need to have a vision, but I don't know about meticulous planning. I don't know whether that even works out.
Also, because everything is changing by the day, I don't think you can stick by that much of planning.
Yeah, especially with AI, right? You don't know how the education is going to change. You don't know how our day-to-day work is going to change. When I was doing bachelor's, I did computer science, by the way.
That's mad.
Who expected I would be having a matcha brand? Yeah, I did computer science. I hated it. I absolutely hated it, but I still got like good grades and I somehow managed. But when I was doing computer science, it was all about the IITs. You need to get your placement in TCS, only then you have a life. It was like that. Like people were literally telling everyone that, oh, if you are not a computer science engineer, you don't have a life.
Yeah.
That's what people told me to my face when I said I didn't wanted to do it, and I was forced to do it. But right now,
It doesn't matter.
You're amazing.
I mean, first of all, people are struggling in IT because of, AI and all of it. And we really don't know doctor, right? Even now, doctors are getting replaced by robotics. Surgeons are getting replaced by robotics. So I feel always try to be in the creative fields. Because
love
AI, I don't think AI can replace, I don't think AI can replace food. I mean, the way the food is being prepped
Yeah,
may be
that-
replaced, but consumers having food won't be replaced. You trying to feel good about yourself is something that's not going to get replaced. You trying to be healthy is not going to replaced. Real estate is not going to get replaced.
So if someone wants to start, yeah. So if someone wants to start a brand today and has a long-term vision, these will be the.
I would say clothing. Clothing can never be replaced. Beauty, health, beauty, personal care would never be replaced. Food, never. Home, never is gonna be replaced. At least according to me. I don't know how AI is gonna like take over, but according to me, I feel basic human needs are never gonna be replaced. They're gonna get, updated, advanced,
Smarter, but not
smarter,
like-
but I don't think it's gonna get replaced out of the existence. So that's what I feel.
Also, on your Instagram, you have mentioned building as many as businesses under
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
So, what are your future plans, not only with Lacha, but with your other business and your consultancy?
And sorry, adding to that, I think adding. Do you know what businesses these are gonna be?
I don't know. As I told you, I was somebody who was very restrictive about what I want in life. I was like, I want this, I want this.
Are you an eldest daughter?
Yes.
Okay, continue, please.
I was very decisive about what I want. Even if somebody is like a gold mine, I do not want it just because that's not what I wanted. I used to be like that. But after having a lot of experience, I felt you never know what's gonna life teach you. Especially with Latcha, I never thought I would be in the F&B space. Never. My dad is into F&B space, food business. I always thought this is something which I never want to do. Food space, food industry is something which I never wanted to do. That's what I thought my entire life. Even when my husband said, oh, why don't you start your own matcha thing, right? I only got interested in it because it's a product line. Matcha product. I was like, okay, it's still food, but it's not related to cooking or anything. So, I would do it. But when I was working on Latcha, I have had the experience and the kind of knowledge that I had. That really taught me that, oh, there's something to learn in everything.
That is true.
And there's something to learn in every industry, every product, every problem that you're solving. You are learning something new, and I love learning. I try to learn as many things as possible every single day. So that's when I decided that, okay, until 30, I'll give myself the time, the freedom, the energy, because as a human being as well, right, you have your highest potential in your 20s. So I thought, okay, let me just start whatever I can do physically possible. By the time I turn 30, I'll see the data, which is working, which is not working, which is giving me happiness, which is not good for me in the long run. Then I'll decide what I'm going to scale ahead. Let's just think I have started something when I was 35. Then there is no going back. I have to stick to it. Now I can't experiment. I can't be like, oh, I don't like this, I'll do that. So now I feel it's also being a Gemini. I can't focus on one task. I need to have like a multiplex playing in my head. So I'm like, let's just work on as many things as possible. My mom is into jewelry business. She does jewelry. She have been doing it since last 12 years. So I know how the jewelry business works. My dad is into food business and real estate. So I know how food and real estate works. I'm into beauty industry and stuff. And right now I'm also trying to get into clothing lines. I was exploring a few manufacturers here and there trying to come up with a clothing line for middle-aged women, something that flatters their body type. Because right now what's happening is the same kurti that we are buying from West Side, even they are buying it, and it's not flattering them. Also nightwear. What kind of nightwear is practical and also comfortable for like middle-aged women? So that is what I'm working on. And yeah, I would say it's also because I have a business consulting agency where we talk to a lot of startup founders. Something new will be coming up. Sometimes I'll be like wondering, oh, I never thought about this. So people are also solving for this. I never thought about it. So I just gave myself a deadline that, okay, let's just start as many things as possible, work on all of them, see what's scaling, what's good for the long term. And then after 30, I can only focus on the things that are scaling.
Yeah.
I don't need to experiment at that time. I'll do all the experimentation right now, build a solid team by the time I turn 30, and only keep on focusing on the things that I want to work on. Or if I want to sell few companies among that, I would just sell them and only keep the ones which I want to be involved in. So that is the vision I'm having.
I think that's crazy because if I tell you that I have an idea, okay, say in any field, let's just say I have an idea. What were the first 3 things you're going to talk to me about?
First, I want to understand, what problem that you're trying to solve. Because I feel money is always a byproduct of your work. You should never have money as your motivator. If you have money as your motivator, you'll not end up doing it, or you'll fail at it. I feel you have to be very much passionate about giving the best product. If you're passionate about giving the best product to your consumer, money would come as a byproduct. If your motivation is money, then you would always fall behind money, and whatever you fall behind, I feel would never come to you in life.
Yeah.
So first I want to understand what problem that you're trying to solve. Then I'll validate whether that is a real problem or not. Then I would understand how much commitment that you can keep into this project. And then of course your budget. What kind of budget that you're trying to start. Because if I give you a plan without knowing your budget, there's no point to it.
Absolutely.
So if you have just 5 lakhs, so you will come to me and be like, okay, Rajashree, I want to start a clothing line, but I only have 5 lakhs. Then I'll find a manufacturer for you who can work in that 5 lakhs ka budget. I'll give you a social media plan which works within that budget. I'll give you whether freelancers or employees who could work in that 5 lakhs budget so that you can implement your product and your brand without failing. If you aim for a brand like Sabyasachi and you have 5 lakhs in budget, that's never going to happen.
That's true.
So that is what we do at TBB as well. You come up with your budget, we'll understand what problem that you're trying to solve. We'll give you the most practical and the most success-driven strategy that's possible within the budget you have. So that's what we are doing right now. And that's what we imply for all the brands that we have under us as well.
That's really nice. I have a quick drop the filter rapid fire for you.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes.
It's like one word answer, like matcha or coffee.
Matcha.
One thing you'll never compromise on.
Self-respect.
One business myth.
Profitability is everything.
A brand you admire?
In India,
Both India and international.
I would say the whole truth in India. Yeah, I would say the whole truth. In the US, one brand that I admire, I would say Fenty. Yeah, that was very revolutionizing. So I would say Fenty.
Advice to someone starting their own brand today?
Don't be picky. Just go with it. You will know from your mistakes.
Okay. Also, coming to the end
Yeah.
of the podcast, I have a question for you. For someone who hasn't tried Sip Lacha, what will you tell them to? Why should they try it right now and today?
Um, just to add more fun into your life and have more healthier options to have fun and just like, enjoy your life. So, yeah. And also, if you want to have the perfect, cutesy, Instagrammable picture, I think you have to go.
That's the only
Yeah,
thing that's driving people
I
today.
think when we went, I think both of us took pictures of the cup, of the
Yeah.
It's very
Cute,
cute,
Pinteresty, I
pink.
think.
Yeah.
And I also love how you've maintained the nature, because I always notice that the tree is, through it. And I always admire cafes like that because, there's no disruption of the nature happening. The
Yeah.
tree is there, everything's around nature. and
Everyone suggested us to like get rid of the tree.
I knew it. I think keeping the tree is always more of when you always have that grounding in you. So I think that always comes with founders who are always grounded to nature. And yeah, I think I just love that.
I feel it adds a character to the
It
space.
definitely does. I think
I think it
everything.
adds the drama and the. I don't know. I
Yeah.
love trees in general.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it adds drama. It also shows a lot more. What do you say? Like there's a human side to the space.
Yeah. I mean, it's already a very small space, right? When we were designing it, everyone was like, okay, just get rid of it. You already have such a tiny space. You want to keep a tree in it. Then we were like, but I feel it's adding character,
Yeah.
So that's how we kept it.
Yeah, we loved that.
yeah.
And we're so happy that you could make time to come here. I think it was
Thank
a
you so much for having.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's made me, I don't know, it just inspires me a
Yeah.
lot to see how you're working. And there's a lot of passion, a lot of drive towards everything you're doing, and it's insane.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling after the?
It's been a while since I hanged out with anybody because I have no friends in Bangalore. So it's
you
like
have
good.
now.
It's
Yeah.
good talking. Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. It was
Thank
great
you.
having you here.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
see you next Friday.
Bye.